up. How many of you guys are always staying on your toes, right? Things change and we got to navigate the waters. So I just want to welcome you and thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to making this a priority in your life. I'm going to tell you right now, there is no better place to be and no better business to be in than this business. And what is this business? This business is the sharing business, connecting business. I do not want you to think this is a selling business, even though, yes, we promote a product, okay? And why do we promote it? Because everybody wants to stay healthy. How many of you guys want to stay healthy out there? Raise your hand. I can see y'all. Good, right? Perfect. So today, we had a little change up. We have one of our spectacular bronzes in the house. So please make some noise. Woo! We got Kevin in the house. And what are we going to be talking about today? We're going to talk about your business and how to level it up, because we need to level it up, guys. We're going to unleash that growth and that burst of potential. And I know every time Kevin comes to the floor, he brings it. So I know you guys are doing other things at the same time sometimes. So just try to put a close ear on it, pick up some nuggets, because I get it, we're busy. We're all doing something, but we got to pick up something for ourselves, because who's this business for? It's for us. It's for us to be able to do those things, those dreams, whatever it is that you want to accomplish, this business will deliver it to you, but you got to treat it like a business. So with that, let me introduce to you guys our host for today. And do we have Anastasia here today? Because
yeah, she's with us.
Anastasia, are you there? Hey, Anastasia, hi. Come on. Hey, come on in. Say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me clearly? I hope so. Yes, I'm stuck in traffic, but we're good. We're good.
Good. Well, okay, then I'm going to take the wheel. I want to introduce to you guys today, our host for the day is Kevin Moore. If you've heard him before, trust me, it never gets boring. Kevin, you have so much knowledge. And one of the things that I love about bringing a person into our room about not only have you accomplished it, you've been there, you've done that, you've reached the level of bronze, you know how to teach us folks that are just at the foundation of our businesses. And we want to build it strong and we want it to last years, just like yours, Kevin. And I thank you for your time. I thank you for your knowledge that you're going to deposit in us today. Everybody, just give a warm welcome to Kevin Moore. He's here to deliver us and help us navigate these waters that for some of us is new. So thanks, Moore. I give it to you.
Hey, thank you so much, Sonia. Sonia and Anastasia are both awesome, and they're both great examples of this women empowerment movement that we have in For Life. I mean, take a look at the list. The women are showing up in abundance, and they're showing up strong, and they're ready to rock and roll their business, and they're perfect examples of together building people. What we're going to talk about is how to level up your business, how to create more volume, how to get to that next level, how to rank up, how to help others to get to the place that you yourself want to get to, because that's the thing about this business. If you want to succeed, there's only one way to succeed in For Life. Nobody goes alone. I want you to think of it like climbing a mountain, right? If you're talking about the big mountains, now listen, if you want to go and there's a little hill in your backyard, you could probably summit that thing by yourself. But we don't want to summit a little hill in the backyard, right? If you think about Kilimanjaro, you think about, Everest, right? These big, incredible peaks. And guess what those peaks bring? They bring the best views. They bring the sense of most accomplishment. Guess what? You don't go to those places by yourself. You go as a team. And guess what? When you get to that next ledge, you throw down a rope, you throw down a helping hand, and you say, hey, come up to this next ledge. I want you to see what the view looks like from here. And then you all get there and you think, wow, but this isn't the summit. We're going to go to the next ledge and the next ledge until we do what? Until we all get to the summit together. That's what For Life culture is. That's what the For Life compensation plan is. That's what, if I'm going to tell you the secret of success is, that's the secret of success. I loved what Sonia said. We're not in the selling business. We're in the sharing business. And I'm going to tell you there's a prerequisite. Before you share, the first thing you need to do, and it rhymes closely with it, is care. You've got to care about your health. You've got to care about your dreams, and you've got to care about others. You care about your health. You care about your dreams. You care about others. Then guess what? When you share, that's going to come through. Because I can promise you this, one of the biggest belief systems I have in For Life is very simple. That one, if you really love this company, if you really love this product, if you really love this business model, it's got to come out of you. We put supplements in, energy comes out. It's got to radiate from you. Because I promise you, most people in this industry, long after they forget what you said, what they learned, what they heard, they're going to remember how they felt. They're going to remember, did you inspire them? Did you motivate them? Did you make them believe in themselves? Because guess what? The world is trained us in this day and age to what? To accept rejection, to stay in line, to accept the fact that we have ceilings above us, that we're restricted, that we're oppressed. Well, guess what? That's not what For Life teaches. For Life, Dave Daughtry teaches, if it's to be, it's up to me. There are no ceilings. I'm going to break through those barriers. If I want to have absurd dreams, I can accomplish those dreams with For Life. I've seen it. I've seen plenty of examples where people, they tell me their dream, and I'm like, there's a little bit of shock and awe factor. But guess what? Whatever your dream is with For Life, you can accomplish it. So we're going to talk a little bit today about the art of the share. So I loved what Sonia did with the topic. I love what she put on the flyer. Let's talk a little bit about, we know our why. Our why is our purpose. It's our dream. It's what we want to accomplish. It's our culture. It should be the very heartbeat of who we are. That's the most important thing about this business. Do you wake up with For Life just beating in that chest? It should be in the rhythm of your day. When you wake up, you should be thinking about, who am I going to bless with this company today? Who am I going to bless with this opportunity? Who am I going to bless with these products? And then if you begin your day like that, and you even see in the For Life logo, right? Those sunbeams radiating right there in the logo. I'm going to get up and I'm going to get after it. And everybody that comes in my contact, if they're within arm's length, I'm looking to tell them about this opportunity, this product. And guess what? Even in 2020, in the pandemic, and we were in quarantine, well, guess what? We go on screen, right? We go virtually at that point. We're gonna take it online. But you've got to have the mindset to share. Now, one of the things I'm going to tell you, first of all, is the rule of 5. We all know John C. Maxwell, right? What is that rule of 5? That rule of 5 is, if you have a huge redwood tree in your backyard, think about the biggest sequoia. These are the type of trees that they don't cut these trees down. They literally, they put tunnels in the middle of these trees and drive cars through them. Because when you need to go to the forest from point A to point B, they put a tunnel in these trees and drive cars through them. That's how big these trees are. But guess what? If you go out there with a sharp axe and you take 5 swings every single day, well, eventually, is that tree going to fall? Every day, if you go out there with a sharp axe and you swing it 5 times, it doesn't matter how big that tree is. It might take 6 days. It might take 6 weeks. It might take 6 months. It probably going to take 6 years. Because guess what? Everything that's worth having is worth putting some time and prolonged, sustained effort into it, right? You've got to do it every single day, though. Ladies and gentlemen, when I went to Kenya, and I see some Kenyans on here today. When I went to Kenya, guess what? Dr. Ojina took me on a safari, right? Which literally translates to journey. We went on a journey together, and we saw lions, and we saw elephants, and we saw rhinos, and we saw all of these great animals on that safari. And guess what? Not one of them was I concerned about getting bit by. But guess what bit me like crazy on that safari? The mosquito. That's how this business is. It's the little things. It's not the elephant that bites. It's not showing up one day and saying, hey, today I'm going to give a massive, epic elephant type effort. That's not what this business requires. This business requires day to day, the rule of 5. Every single day you show up. Because in this business, if you want to grow up, you've got to show up. You can't just show up occasionally. You can't just show up routinely. You've got to show up consistently, day in, day out. The days that you feel energy pulsing in your veins and the days that you feel like you don't want to get out of bed, you've got to will yourself to show up. Because if you do that, you will see your business change. You will see your goals reached. You will see your dreams accomplished. You will see your life transform. Okay. But the rule of 5, when John C. Maxwell was asked, how did you write all these books? He's written over 150 books. How did you read them? How did you write all these books? Guess what he said? Word by word, sentence by sentence. Eventually, those sentences become a paragraph. Eventually, those paragraphs become a book. Pretty soon, that book has become a library. When you talk about John C. Maxwell, people say, well, do you do these 5 things on Christmas? He said, every day. You do those 5 things on your birthday? Every day. You do those 5 things on the weekend? Every day. Guys, we all, whether you're part-time or you're full-time, I promise you this, if you want to go big time, you've got to show up every day. Okay? That 5 things doesn't require you to spend 5 hours, but you've got to do something to fill the bucket every day. So that's my next point about sharing, okay? Before you share, the 2 things that you've got to do is 1, you've got to care. And then the second, what does Dave Daughtry always tell us in his 4 steps to building the business? Prepare. You can't go out and share something you don't know. If you don't know about 4Life, if you don't know the story about Transfer Factor, if you don't know about Sherwood Lawrence, if you don't know what kind of products we have with the targeted transfer factors, our 4Life Transform line, if you don't use the product, if you're not a product of the product, if you don't know about the product, you can't go out and share the product, right? Now, I'm going to tell you this, you don't have to be wearing a white coat. You don't have to have initials at the end of your name. It doesn't have to be Kevin Moore, MD, Dr. Ojina. We've got doctors for that. It doesn't have to be, Anastasia, PhD. We've got doctors for that. It's called borrowed credibility, okay? I've talked to people all the time. They say, Kevin, wow, you know a lot about Transfer Factor. You must be a doctor. Nope, I don't even play one on TV. But I tell you what I do, I have a whole bunch of doctors I know. Dr. Robertson, Dr. Townsend, Dr. Ojina, the list goes on and on. We can borrow from all of that education and the expertise. And it's just kind of like Transfer Factor. Transfer Factor, we're borrowing education from one host, we're transferring to another. The same it is with the doctors. I'm borrowing education from the doctors. I'm kind of the Transfer Factor that's taking it to customers and team members and to prospects especially, okay? So care, prepare, and then share. Now let's talk about sharing. If we're doing it every day, does that mean that I just wake up and I say, okay, well, how do I share today? No, I share today with whatever my day brings, wherever I go, whatever I'm doing. Today's actually a state holiday here in Utah. It's our state holiday, the day that Utah was founded. In 1847, on this day, July 24th, Utah was kind of discovered and founded, okay? So here's the thing is, it's going to be a holiday. Today's a day of barbecues and fireworks and picnics. Well, guess what? That heartbeat beats 4Life, right? So when you go to a picnic, oh, am I going to take the day off today? I don't need to build a business. It's a holiday. No. What a great time to talk to people about 4Life. And guess what? I don't show up at the barbecue. with a trench coat full of 4Life products. I'm like, hey guys, thanks for inviting me to the barbecue. Pass the ribs. I'm going to pass you a bottle of Transfer Factor Plus. I don't do that. I don't have to be that guy. I don't have to come off gimmicky or pushy. Like Sonia said, we're not selling, we're sharing, which leads to a conversion. Okay. So what do you do at barbecues? What do you do at picnics? You talk to people. Guess how quickly in the conversation day to day that when you're talking to people, something comes up that could lead to a 4Life destination. Okay. But here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to create curiosity. I'm trying to get people excited. So here's what I have a little acronym for it. Okay. And I call it FORM. When I go to picnics and barbecues today, I'm going to have people fill out a form. Now, in order for them ultimately to give me their contact information and for me to give my contact information to them, I need them to basically do a couple things. First, I need to have a conversation. I need to have something that breaks the ice, because people, we kind of live in a society that has become an elevator type of culture, right? We get in, we look straight ahead, we listen to the music in the background, and we're taught to keep to ourselves. The pandemic made that even worse, right? Because people are put on masks. We got 6 feet. Hey, social distancing, even the name social distancing. No, we don't want social distance. We want to embrace each other socially. We want social connection, right? So I will start a conversation. Now, here's where form fits in. The F is family. Okay, who doesn't like to talk about family? So if I see kids, I'll say, well, how many do you have? Oh, I've got 1 boy, 1 girl. I'm like, I'm crazy. I've got 6. I've just broken the ice. They're like, you got 6, you are crazy. We can agree on one thing already, right? But I'm starting the conversation. I see somebody doting over their grandchildren. I say, oh, you got a cute one there. You're going to be in trouble, though. She's a cutie at 3. I got a 16-year-old daughter. Stress is coming, right? Oh, yeah, I can only imagine. What do you do for stress? Well, boom. See, I have a bridge right there. I have an instant bridge that I can now talk about a 4Life supplement, because we had a whole bunch of 4Life supplements that are great for stress, right? Well, you know, thankfully I've got, and then fill in the blank. You're talking about whether that's Feel Right. We used to have a product called Inner Sun, right? You've got a lot of different ways that you can bridge that gap. They started the conversation. Does it make sense? So now it's not intrusive. It's not pushy. It's not being all up in their grill, right? We keep the grill for the barbecue. I'm just having conversations as we're waiting for the ribs, the burgers, the hot dogs, the things to come out. And they just led me to a great place. So family is the first one of form. O, occupation. Okay, people, even today on a state holiday, we tend to talk about work. Why do we talk about work? Well, because a lot of people are in that 9 to 5 rat race. They work to live, they live to work, right? So that's where they're spending all of their time. So I say to them, you know, what do you do for a living? Now, the most important thing is I listen, because key elements in what they tell me to do for a living. They might say, well, you know what? I'm actually in digital marketing. Is that important for me to know if they're in digital marketing? Can I use that? Absolutely, I can use that. They might say something about, oh man, what do I do? Hey, Kevin, you're killing my picnic vibe. My boss, hate my boss. Can't stand to work. You know, my boss is a jerk. My boss is so demanding and never understanding. I mean, it took everything I could just get, paid time off today. I don't even have PTO, Kevin, but today's a state holiday. Yeah, he had to give me paid time off today because it's a state holiday. Well, guess what? Somebody that doesn't like a boss, do you think they might want to talk about an opportunity? Well, that's a bridge right there. Hey, you know what? Some days I don't like my boss. They're like, oh yeah, who's your boss? It's me. I'm joking around. I'm self-employed, right? But I'm joking around. I'm making conversations But here's the other thing that's important, not only to listen to what they do, because there's valuable hints there, but guess what? Almost every time, and I promise you, almost every time I've asked somebody what they do for work, guess what they ask me? It's almost a society norm, right? Well, what do you do for work, Kevin? Well, boom, now I have to be ready. If I just say, well, I'm in network marketing, or, I promote a supplement. Well, guess what I've probably done in both of those answers? Given them a reason. Oh, no, I've asked the wrong person. He's going to try to recruit me. He's going to try to get me to join his company. He's going to try to sell me something. I'm not doing that at all. I'll tell you, one of the best I ever saw do it. It's a guy, his name is Richard Quek. He's a gold as well in Malaysia. I was with him and we were going to get satay. Some of you know what satay is? It's like a skewer with chicken on it with a peanut sauce. So he knew I loved this satay that we were getting in Kuala Lumpur. We went to go get it at this little place, a local place that him and I had frequented before. We go there and I can tell that he sees some guy that he knows. And this guy walks up and goes, "Hey, Richard, it's been a long time, my friend. What are you doing? Like, what have you been up to? Like, I haven't seen you and Nancy. What are you doing for your work right now, Richard?" And Richard goes, "Oh, I'm a repairman." And I'm looking over at Richard like, what is he talking about? This guy is a gold with 4 life. We rank the same rank. I'm gold, he's gold. We've been doing this a long time together. And I'm like looking at him like, repairman? The guy goes, and the guy he said it to was just as perplexed as me. He was confused too. He knew that Richard had been entrepreneurial before. So he went from entrepreneur to repairman. Repairman's a great job. There's nothing wrong with it. It just didn't really fit with what Richard was saying. And the guy goes, "Repairman?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I've been repairing people's busted health and broken dreams." He just said just like that. And the guy was like, busted health and broken dreams. Do you know but anybody that needs repair for busted health and broken dreams? The guy laughed. He just did a chuckle. He said, "Richard, you dog." He goes, "It's good to see you. I'm glad that we reconnected." Well, guess what? If Richard right then would have said, "Okay, now let me show you how I do that." And he breaks out a laptop with a PowerPoint presentation and says, "Let's go back to 1949. And Sherwood Lawrence, a professor at New York University, studying tuberculosis." No, that's not what he did. See, too often in the share, we want to jump to the close. That never works. That's not going to be successful. Before you can get to a close, you've got to get to a capture. Okay? I'm not trying to close them right then and there. I'm trying to capture their curiosity. Did Richard Quek capture the curiosity with his answer? He certainly did. Now that capture of curiosity has to lead to a capture of contact information. Now, capturing of contact information is crucial because one, I can follow up now at a time. That's why we call it fortune in the follow-up, right? I can follow up at a time where I've got the attention of this potential prospect. I'm not worried that he's trying to get to his satay too. His chicken and peanut sauce is getting cold. I'm not worried that his family's waiting on him. I'm following up for a better time. But here's the most important part about capturing that contact information, okay? Let's say I have a business card here. If I take this business card and I take it from Richard Quek, and Richard Quek is my contact in this hypothetical situation. If I take his business card, I'm 50% of the way there, okay? If I give him my business card, I'm 0% of the way there. Because I promise you, if you just give out business cards without receiving business cards, for me, it's almost a transaction. It's almost an agreement. If I'm going to take a business card, I'm going to give one. If I'm going to give one, I'm definitely going to take one. And here's why. The reason I say I'm only 50% of the way there, if I take his business card, is because where's the other 50%? I've got to follow up, right? Having the contact information doesn't do me any good. Following up after I have the contact information is why the fortune is in the follow-up, okay? But if I just give him my business card, it doesn't matter. If I've captured his curiosity, life happens, okay? Distraction happens, time and distance happen. And if the chance that he's going to pick up the phone and call me or go to my website after I've got the initial contact with him is not very good, ladies and gentlemen. If I want to build a business, I've got to be the person that's the business builder. I can't rely on them to do so, okay? So O is occupation. R in the form is recreation. What do you like to do for fun? People like to talk about what they do for fun. When I don't have to be at work, what do I like to do? What do I enjoy to recreate at? What do I just do when I have a couple hours to myself on the weekend? Because if I can find that passion, can that lead to a for life discussion? I've done this with people. They're like, oh, Kevin, you know what? We live in such a beautiful state here in Utah. So many mountains, so many cliffs, so many places to explore. I just love to hike. Well, that's an easy transition. Do we have products that are great for muscle recovery? Renuvo, musculoskeletal, Flex for Life, right? It's easy. I'll be like, yeah, I turned 47 years old on Saturday. So I'll be like, I just turned 47 on Saturday. I need some supplements to get me on those hikes now, before and after. I take a supplement for energy to get me to go on the hike. I take a supplement for recovery. Well, guess what? That's a real, you see, I just kind of snuck it into the conversation, right? Now that they might not take the bait, that's okay. Because guess what? Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting, right? This is a numbers game. When someone doesn't take the bait, I'll try again. I have what I call a 3-strike rule. Now, first rule is this. I am going to talk to everybody. If my kids say, Dad, you don't know what stranger danger is. That's right. I don't know what stranger danger is because I'm talking to everybody in hopes to make a connection. Okay. Hopes to make a friend. Because one thing about this business is you start with the people that you love. Okay. So we've all heard it, right? When you are talking, when somebody says, how do I start this business, Kevin? You start with people you love, right? Your family, your friends, your neighbors, people that you have a warm market with, people that you're connected to. But the only way you're successful in this business is that you've got to flip that on its end. You've got to love the people that you do business with. Does that mean my family and friends? That means I have met so many people because of For Life. I've been with them for 25 years, 7 years at the corporate office, and now the last 16 or what is that, 14 years in, nope, let me do my math really quick, almost 18 years, my goodness, 18 years in the field now. I am feeling older the longer the Zoom goes. But yeah, 7 years in the corporate office, almost 18 years in the field. And there's people I didn't know existed before this company. I love those people. Those people are, Dave Daughtry is a brother to me. Dave Daughtry in some ways is a closer brother to me than my own biological brother. Okay, but you've got to love the people that you do business with. So it's really easy when you're talking to people, family, occupation, recreation, find a way to turn it to a For Life discussion. It's not difficult. And if they don't take the bait, okay, on to the next. Then you're probably not the fish I'm looking for. Okay. M, marketing is basically going to be one of two things when it comes to VM. Money. Whoa, Kevin, isn't that a dirty word? You don't say money in business. You don't say money in this business model. Yeah, I don't believe that one bit. Because guess what? I don't serve money. But money has worked for me to serve a lot of people. You see what I'm saying? I serve God. Okay. There's no question in this household that we serve God. But guess what money has done to enable me and empower me to bless other people? Because this is the truth is, if you've got somebody over here and they're drowning and they're literally, the waves are crashing and they feel like they can't even swim anymore. They've got anchors tied to their ankle and they're literally just trying to survive and keep their head above water. And you've got somebody over here that's doing the same. Do you know what they'll tell you in CPR class, in first aid class? Whatever you do, if you're both drowning, do not come together, because you're flailing, you're both in crisis. You're just going to flail at each other and you're going to sink. Well, here's what For Life Opportunity has afforded me. I was drowning when I joined this company. I was struggling. There was way too much month at the end of the money. My wife and I got to the point that on the 25th of the month, we're kind of like, well, this is where the money runs out. We better get very creative over the next 6 days. We didn't like the days with 31 days, like July, because we're like, oh, we've got a whole week. We got to figure out how to get this creditor to where they'll give us an extension. This company has done for me now. I'm no longer in survival mode. I'm in thriving mode. And so in thriving mode, I now have gone out of the drowning crisis I was in. I've gone up to a life tower. I've got a life preserver. Now, if I just sat up there in the life preserver and sat up there in safety and looked out the ocean and thought, wow, I made it. I got out. Well, then, man, I'm not a very good person, am I? What I do now is I look down to other people that are drowning and I say, oh, that person reminds me of myself when I was a young father struggling to pay the bills. And guess what? I've got a life preserver. And on that life preserver, it says For Life. On the other side, it says Transfer Factor. So it's up to me now to get people to understand entrepreneur is not French for unemployed. Okay, entrepreneur means that I'm building my business. And I'm my own boss. I set my own hours. And guess what? Initially, when I left the corporate office, my hours went from 9 to 5 to 8 to faint. My wife was like, it seems like you're making less money and putting more time in. You've got to pay your dues. You've got to pay your dues. You know what? The only way that you lose in this business model is if you quit. If you stay with it long enough, you sharpen the saw, you go out and you build your business, you will succeed. Enough people talk to, enough days put in, enough mosquitoes biting, you can be successful. So the last part of DM is this. If you're not comfortable talking about money, and I would tell you it's okay to talk about money. It's okay in the right circumstance to get people to understand that there's a great financial aspect of this business. Financial independence can happen, okay? But the other part is the message. What's the message of For Life? It's beautiful. It's together building people. It's the fact that everybody has a seat at this table. No matter what your background is, what religion you are, your gender, the country that you call home, the pigmentation of your skin, you are family here. Come one, come all. We love each other. We want each other to succeed. We build on a culture where, guess what? It's not you versus me. It's us together going and accomplishing something big with one another. That's what this model is about. That's what especially this company is. That message is even validated further with things like Foundation for Life, La Casa Rosada, all the good that we do in orphanages and in disaster relief. Man, there's a lot of people that make the kind of money I make. I'm fortunate to make the kind of money that I make with For Life. I've got to make that kind of money. I've got 6 kids. They're expensive. Okay. But here's the thing is the truth is this. A lot of those people that make the kind of money I make, the kind of money that Dave Daughtry makes, guess what they can't do? There is not enough melatonin. There's not enough sleep right in the world to get those people to where they can sleep at night, because they're making money in a very corrupt, very just, there's no integrity in the way they make money. I sleep well because we're building a business that's helping people with their health and their wealth. So everybody needs to fill out the form, ladies and gentlemen. When you're out Virtually, you can do that too. Well, okay, Kevin, I'm not going to picnic today. It's not a state holiday like it's there in Utah. You can do that virtually. And virtually, when you're connecting with people online, same thing. If you have commission breath, okay, commission breath means that the second I meet somebody, I just start, like all over them. Buy my product, join my team. If you do that, you're going to scare away some people. It's just like fishing. Okay, my wife took me fishing for my birthday. You got to put out some bait. You got to be patient. You got to see what bait works. You got to put in a little bit of time. Okay, you've got to assess the environment. Okay, maybe I need to go to a lure because there's these particular environmental conditions. Okay, but if you just immediately go to commission breath, well, guess what? You probably don't care, right? People, they've got to know that you care about them before they're going to care about your opportunity, right? They've got to know that you care about them before they're going to give you a place where they actually are going to listen. Okay, so everybody that you talk to, you need to make sure that you're focusing on fill out the form. And then you've got to follow up, okay? So I'm just going to take 3 more minutes here. And then we want to turn the time over because I'm super, super excited because we're going to get the time back over to Sonia and we've got Anastasia that's going to come and bring us home here. The last thing I want to say is this, whether you're doing it online or offline, virtually or in person, here's what I call the killer C's. These C's will help you kill your business. You'll take it to another level. You'll be a rock star if you can use these C's, practice these C's, and work with them, okay? Now, first of all, capture. We've talked about this. I want to capture their contact information. I want to capture their attention. Well, how can I do that in person? Your smile is your business card. Be friendly. Smile at people. It's a dying art. People now are so focused in looking at my screen. I've got my AirPods in. I'm staring straight ahead. A smile can go a long way to just captivate somebody. Let them know that you care. Smile with your teeth, smile with your eyes, smile with your heart, but smile at people. Okay, this is a business that we love people. We got to make sure that we feel warm and welcoming and kind. Okay, engage with people. Like my kids say, Dad doesn't know what stranger danger is. If I'm in a grocery store and there's somebody in front of me and we're at a self-checkout and it looks like it's going to be 5 minutes, I'm using 3 of those minutes to talk to somebody. Because what's the worst case scenario? I either got a for-life business partner, a for-life customer, or I've met a new person. There really is no bad situation. I've had people look at me like, what is this guy? Just shut up. Okay, on to the next thing. Not a big deal. I'm not hurt. I'm not offended that there's some people that are introverts that they don't want to talk to me. That's okay. I've had way more positive experiences with those who do want to talk to me than those who are standoffish or reject me, okay? So capture. Curiosity is another one of the killer C's. Curiosity not only killed the cat, curiosity brought in your prospect, okay? So if I just basically have commission breath, I just say, hey, I've got the best supplements in the world. Do you think that we're the only company that says we've got the best supplements in the world? We do. That's the difference. We do. Science shows it. The physician's desk reference shows it. 4,000 clinical studies show it, right? The American Medical Review shows it. We've got all of this credibility that proves that our supplements are the best. But guess what? There's a lot of other companies that say, I got the best supplements in the world. So capture curiosity. And the best way to curiosity is lead with the benefits. Okay. If you're just talking about formulas or you're just talking about, well, this is the ingredients that I have, no one can ever dispute what it did for you, how it impacted you, how it made you feel. And guess what? They can relate to that too, right? If they say, oh man, I was going through times in the afternoon where all I wanted was a nap. I felt lethargic. I had brain fog. I felt like I couldn't even get one step in front of one foot in front of the other, take another step until I got introduced to these energy supplements. And now I've got vitality, I've got energy, I'm ready to live life. Because nobody can dispute that. And do you think that other people want that kind of energy, want that kind of vitality, want that kind of little bit of a supplement boost? Of course they do. So capture their curiosity. If you can get them to understand what you have is beneficial, you can fill in the blanks, but you've got their attention first. And with their attention, that's the most important thing. Be available for people. Okay, be available. They say the best ability is availability. Okay, the best ability is availability. So be out there talking to people online, offline. Here's another C that I think is underutilized with the killer C's. Compliment. A good, authentic, genuine compliment goes a long way. I brought somebody in this business with a sincere compliment one time. I saw her. She was on like some sort of little field trip as a single mom with her couple kids. She was organized. She had those kids ready to rock and roll. One was a kindergartner, another was a toddler. She had their day planned out. And I just said, man, I said, I could use somebody like you in my business because I sometimes don't know which way is up, and you are organized. You're here with a mission. I mean, the way that you're running these kids, which is not an easy thing, a kindergarten or a toddler, and you've got your day planned. And I'm like, I'll be honest, sometimes I need to plan my day, or if I don't run the day runs me. And I said, I'm impressed with that. It's incredible to see you out here and just taking care of business. It was sincere. We got in a conversation. I started talking about how that kind of organization and that kind of planning would work well in business. She's told me she was a single mom. She said, if I'm not organized, I'm out of it because they will run me. We started talking about the business. She said, well, could a single mom do this? Oh man, that's magic to my ears, right? Absolutely, a single mom can do it. So, here's the last killer C, be confident. Okay, if you're in a conversation with somebody and you've had them fill out the form and you're kind of like, and I know this is difficult for some people, so practice in the mirror, pull up FaceTime, practice in your screen, but make sure that you've got eye contact, that you're not sitting there with your eyes down, your hands in your pocket, you're not mumbling. I'm confident about what For Life and these products and this opportunity do to change people's lives. I'm looking you straight in the eye when I'm talking to you about this business. I am telling you with my tone, I'm excited, I'm energetic, I'm making sure, because guess what? Whether you are excited or whether you are, I got a product, it's contagious, okay? If you are excited and sincere and you love this company, it's contagious. If you are afraid and you feel fear and you're not, and you're worried about what they're going to accept and what they're going to reject, that's just as contagious. Last thing is this, and then I'm going to turn back time to Sonia. You've got to marry yourself to the process and divorce yourself from the results. Let me say that again. Marry yourself to the process and divorce yourself from the results. What does that mean, Kevin? You're a gold. Dave's a platinum. Easy for you to say that. No, not easy for me to say that. Easy for me to do that. Because here's the truth is, if you've got to set goals. I'm not suggesting don't set goals. But if I wake up every morning and I say, I've got to get to Gold Elite. I've got to get to Gold Elite. Well, guess what? Gold Elite is a ways away from me. I'm running. I've got a group in Brazil that's blowing up. I'm excited. I'm running to that destination. But is Gold Elite going to happen today? No. Is Gold Elite going to happen tomorrow? Could Gold Elite happen sometime in the end of the year? Maybe. But every day, guess what's going to happen for me to get to Gold Elite? I've got to show up to grow up. So I've got to marry myself to the process. What's the process? Process, I got to talk to people. I got to prepare. I got to care. I got to share. That's the process. If I do that every day, guess what's going to happen? Gold Elite's going to happen. Gold Elite is going to happen. It's the rule of 5. Whether it happens today, tomorrow, or a year from now. Gold Elite will happen if I marry myself to that process. If I put in the work, I pay the dues, I marry myself to the process, I divorce myself from the result. And that's day to day too. If I approach somebody, well, I've just got to get their contact information and the result defines me. Well, guess what? If the person says, no, I'm not interested, or I'm not going to share my contact information with you, or no, if I give you my business card, you're just going to be all over me. You're just going to be constantly trying to contact me. I don't want solicitation like that. Well, if I marry myself to the result, it's easy for me to get down, right? If I marry myself to result, guess what? Some will, some won't. I've got to go for no. Because if I don't go for yo, I'm never going to be blessed by yes, right? So I'm talking to people. They say, oh no, Kevin, it's not for me. Oh, married myself to the process. There's another notch in the belt next. Okay, I'm successful because I did what I needed to do to get to where I need to go. So marry yourself to that process every single day. Mosquitoes bite, show up to grow up, those 5 things each and every day. Okay, so I appreciate you all joining me. I'm gonna turn it back over to Sonia so we can hear from Anastasia. But I apologize that Dave wasn't here today. He had an appointment. I love to talk about For Life. So his appointment was my opportunity to tell you that, guys, the best things are ahead for this company and for this team. So thanks for joining me. Back to you, Sonia.
Thank you. Kevin, man, I am so blessed. I have notes everywhere, guys. I know we hear some of the stuff repetitively, but why do we hear it repetitively? Because you can do it. You can go out there and get this done. Trust me, it's not, the process is something that, yes, it takes a licking, right? Because you're going to have to go out there and take a no sometimes, and it's okay. Because you know what? Just like someone found you and you have that desire to have this and you know you deserve it because you work hard, you're going to get it. You just have to continue going out there and putting in the work because that character is being developed so you can be that leader that we need you to be on that platform, up on that stage for us. So please don't ever, ever, ever think you can't do this. You know, I'll tell you, I've been here for a bit. Anastasia, I want you to come on and share your story with us because your story is amazing and I want the world to hear it. And next is someone else in this room. And I want you to know that you need to start taking notes because your story is going to be told on this platform because we want to hear from you. Now, Anastasia, I want to give it to you because I want you to tell us a little bit about your story before we go, because I want to deposit some more hope. Kevin, thank you for everything you gave us today. I'm telling you, brother, I can't wait to share that stage up there and be able to hold hands together and bring everybody with us to come and join us to be financially independent so they can get their dreams accomplished. Anastasia, to you, my friend. Unmute.
You're on mute, Anastasia. Okay, there you go.
All right. So Sonia, thank you very much. And just like you, I've just got so many notes here with me. And Kevin, oh my God, so many nuggets today. And thank you so much for that. So my name is Anastasia Njoroge. I'm originally from Kenya, but I live in the UK. I've lived here for almost 20 years now. So this is basically my home. So when I came to For Life, so it's my parents who actually started with For Life, but the way I came across this team was amazing. So I was researching about supplements, different supplements, and I remembered somebody had posted on their Facebook page about those supplements, and that person was Wangeshi, and she should be here today. So I gave her a call and I was like, can you tell me more about these supplements? And Wangeshi just told me, you know what? I've got better those are good supplements, but if you're open to hear more, I've got better supplements than the ones I'd asked about. So Wangeshi put me on a 3-way call with Jessie. She's another Kenyan wonderful lady and leader in For Life. And we spoke about For Life and they told me about it. And my parents were also taking that. But I just needed to know all about what is this for life. I had never heard about them. So just chatting with those two ladies, and then they introduced me to Tricia as well later, and just chatting to them and the excitement about the for life products. They were telling me it's a molecule, it's a molecule, it's targeted. It was going over my head at that time, but it was just the community that I started loving. The products as well, I could see my parents have benefited from it. I too have started taking them, and I've got my husband here, and we're also loving the supplements. They're good, but the team behind it, that's what I fell in love with. So just a community where you're learning every other week. Whenever you need to talk to someone, they're right there. They're happy to talk to you and guide you. So that's the main thing I loved about this community. It doesn't feel like selling, because sometimes I've joined a different network marketing before, and you feel like you're being pushed to just sell. But with For Life, it's just, you feel like you're sharing, and it's just a community where you just, sharing and caring. And with that, you starting to see results. And that's what I love about this team. So that's my story for now. I'm sure there'll be plenty of other big news coming later. But for now, I'll leave you with that. And thank you very much. Bye-bye. Over to you,
Okay.
Sonia.
Thank you.
All
Well,
right.
Anastasia, guys, as you join us here, remember, this is about community, and I just started today. I'm taking notes. I took notes about what Kevin said. I took notes about what Anastasia said. Why? Because one day you're going to present them and you're going to repeat the story that they just told you, so you can give the people a little bit more about her story. So I want you to know we're in study mode right now when we're here. Mentor Monday, study, we're learning, even though, yes, this is a business of sharing. We one of the things I'm going to tell you before we go today is we have another meeting tomorrow, right? Dr. Ojina is going to bring it on, and I can't remember the topic, but it's going to be good, and it's at 10 a.m., same time, same place. You need to join us. You want to learn more about the specific product and how it can help a specific item? That's the meeting tomorrow on Tuesdays. It's called Health Tuesday Talk, every Tuesday. Now, we have a training tomorrow at 6 p.m. as well. So you want to join us then about the training. And that's to develop your business. And that's 6 p.m. California time. We'll put it out there. If you're not part of our WhatsApp chats, you need to ask the person that invited you here today, hey, what are those chat rooms that she talked about on WhatsApp, so I can be updated with the information about these meetings. And don't be afraid to put a note in there. Hey, where's the flyer to the meeting? I need to invite somebody, so we can give you the information you need to get those out there. But coming back home, every day is a new day. Don't get down just because yesterday you didn't get the level that you needed, okay? Because I know I have a daily level that I want to accomplish, but it's not about commission breath, right? It's about caring. And it starts by saying hello, maybe to your neighbor while she's walking the dog. Maybe it says, you go to the grocery store and you make conversation. You got to overcome those little battles so you can get to the big things, okay? So I want to make sure you do that. Now, I have some people in here. I just wanted to say thank you for joining us today. I know my upline gold is Leo Espinoza has joined us today. I think Dr. Ojina, hey, he's also, I think it's a bronze. I can't remember the level, but thank you for joining us today. Claudia's here today from Canada. I know she can't talk right now, but hey, girl, thank you for being here. Thank you that are paying attention and you joined us today. We love you. I'm gonna open up the mics for everybody, which I don't know how to do. Maybe Michael, you can help me out there so we can go ahead and open it up. How do you open the mics, Mike? And then I'll stop the recording.